But if you don't get your feelings caught up, if you still stay on your purpose, when you have that abundance mindset, you don't have nothing to really worry about. So it shows that you are capable of doing that for her, right? If you're passionate about something, you're gonna go hard for it. Because when you guys are in this bubble, that's what it becomes, always in each other's space. It's like, can you guys just air out the room and take a step out and come back in, and then be refreshed, be rejuvenated again, and be ready to tackle this relationship or this friendship. What is up, my BBossBaddies and my bad mom fellas? It is your girl Bosana, and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about all women want this secretly. All women secretly want this from a man. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys things that you probably never ever heard, because of course it's secret things, and I have a few videos out already, so if you want to check those out, just search it up. There's just a lot, so I'm not going to link them down below, but you can easily find them. Make sure you check out my Patreon, make sure you check out all my other social media. Everything is out here, and please just check the recent video that I just dropped on my second YouTube channel with my boyfriend. My boyfriend got me, he pranked me. Look.
I'm about to fly in, hop in a Cayenne.
When you came in the room and woke me up, that's when I smelled something that I didn't smell before. So there you guys have it. Make sure you check it out. It was super funny, and he actually got me, so go ahead and check it out. It's linked down below. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 3 things, so you guys already know what's up. We start from 3, go down to 1, so that means what? You gotta watch until the end to get the number 1 thing. All right, so number 3 on the list for what all women secretly want from a man is being able to vent to them. Oh my goodness. So important. Listen, and I've said this in the past when I was talking about how women want to start treating their man as if that's their best friend as a female, their girl, right? Not to say that, oh, they want to be talking to you and want to feel like that female vibe. Absolutely not, because obviously that's going to end up being a turnoff. But when I say that, I'm saying it to say that a woman wants to be that comfortable with you. And that's the most times when you're going to have a woman that attached to you. When she can be at a level where it's beyond just a friendship, it's beyond just saying, this is my boyfriend. When it gets to a point of saying, this is my lover and my best friend, that's when you know you have her, right? And absolutely, it's going to take time to get there. And it's not something I'm saying rush into, but definitely there is things that you can do in the meantime so you guys are able to get closer to that point. Okay, so when I say she needs to be able to vent to you, all women want this because they want to run to you and be able to open up to you. The things that I tell you guys, and I'll be like, okay, she's going to go to her friends, and then she's going to be like, oh, you know, he did this. Oh, you know what? I wasn't feeling this about him, but this and that, right? All these things that she has to make a comment about, other things that she's going to be judging. And a lot of times it might just be you because you're the one that's trying to get with her or trying to talk to her, whatever the case is. That is the stuff that you are trying to get her to come back and say to you. So a woman wants to run back to you and vent to you because it's just like, I'm going back to the person that I want to let them know things. And that's where you can touch a woman's heart. That's when a woman's going to get comfortable with you. But a lot of women hold back on this. A lot of women don't let men know because that's where it's going to get to them, right? When a woman tells you, oh, this and that certain stuff, and it's like she never just told any guy this, or a guy that she was just talking to, and you happen to hit the spot and she decides to go ahead and vent to you, that's when she knows she's actually into you. Because naturally, there's gonna be some girls out there that will still do it, but naturally, women don't just go and run to you and tell you about all their problems, all the guys that been trying to talk to her, all the guys that she's talking to. That too, right? When you guys get to a point where you guys are talking about, oh, well, I have this girl, I have that guy, and you guys are just not caring, eventually sometimes feelings develop, but you might have to start that way. And I see that a lot of times people are so afraid of the friend zone, so afraid of being friends first. You have to remember, if you weren't able to just get with her, then what does that mean? Your chances of actually getting anywhere is just slim. Like, there was no chance. So if it means that you have to be friends with her first and then she has to grow interest for you, then so be it. Doesn't mean, okay, while you're being friends with her, do all these things where you're going all out for her and you're validating. Of course not. But you can't be afraid of being a friend of a woman, because sometimes instead of being a lover, then you can still be a friend and then become a lover. And you have to understand too, a lot of times women out here end up falling for a man, but they can never ever vent to them. So it's like that part where you can open up to a different level will never happen between her and him. They just don't have that type of connection. So if it means that you had to be friends with her and you guys had that type of connection where she was opening up to you, okay, it's possible she might look at you as a friend. But if you don't get your feelings caught up, if you still stay on your purpose, when you have that abundance mindset, you don't have nothing to really worry about. And I think that's why a lot of people will preach about, don't ever try to be this, don't ever get in the friend zone. Look, if you get in the friend zone, if you can't get out of it with minding your own business, being about yourself and going hard in life and focusing on yourself, then it just means either way, if you weren't in the friend zone, you probably would have never gotten her most chances. Basically, to wrap up with this number 3 of her being able to vent to you, a lot of girls really want this. It just doesn't happen because nowadays women are first attracted to certain stuff, and then to get to a venting level, men and women can't get to that point because it's like things are all distracting, all the materialistic things, guys spoiling her, getting her all these things. It's just distractions that are gonna make her further away from her getting close to venting to you, right? And also all these things that you guys may be going through, remember, if she can come back to you and tell you, it's going to be the best answer for her. Instead of her going to her friends, let's say you're giving her a hard time, she doesn't know how to deal with you. Instead of her going to her friend, it would be the best thing for her to start venting to you and then expressing to you how she actually feels about you, right? Instead of all this childish stuff and beating around the bush, when you eliminate those things and take things away, she's gonna only be left to vent to you. And a lot of girls really just want that, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of work to have a best friend and then hear her advice, tell you this about this guy that you like or you don't like, you don't know what to do next. 2-in-1 package deal from one man. You get what I mean? You got the best friend and you got the boyfriend, instead of, you know, having the best friend on the side. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Number 2 is go-getter mentality. Now, I put this under it being a secret because we always talk about, oh yeah, be on your purpose, do this, do that. That's all good stuff, and that's what's gonna attract women. But I feel like because we talk about how women are attracted about money, how they are materialistic and things like that, and the whole hypergamous thing, we don't really focus on the whole idea of the mentality of a go-getter, right? Of course, being on your purpose is a go-getter mentality, but secretly, this is the one thing that if every man was doing, most times it can just get you most women, right? Although it leads to being on your purpose, it just means whether you're starting off as a simp or a strong alpha male or you're in the middle, regardless of what type of man you are, you just have a higher chance. And women want this. They just want to see how mentally you're going to be strong and capable of going to get it. And this is the best thing about a go-getter mentality for a woman, is that they see you can go after something, you can go hard for it, and you really want it. So it shows that you are capable of doing that for her, right? If you're passionate about something, you're gonna go hard for it. But here's the thing, when you guys are moving smart and you guys are over here giving that energy of the go-getter mentality into something that's not about her, then guess what? Then and there, she's gonna be like, okay, he can bring that all back to me. All that go-getter, all that, you know, hungry for it, all the ambition that he has going on, if he brings that back into me, I would love that. I want that type of attention. Women want attention. Let's not ever forget that. We know this, right? So it just means she sees it, it's a turn on. It's nice. I secretly want my man to be like this, but it's about you not giving it to her. What happens a lot of times is this go-getter mentality is, you know, somewhat in you, or, you know, you just have to do certain stuff to activate it. But the sad part is once you get to that point where you know how to get it, you use it towards women, and secretly women want you to just use it towards your own life. And yes, it might get them to feel like, okay, that means he can be at this status and have this much money, make this type of money. Yes, it can mean that, absolutely. But at the end of the day, when we just talk about women, we're trying to see what's going to get them to want you. And this is something that's going to get them to want you. Absolutely. So secretly, to wrap this one all up, Women want you to be hungry. They want to see you passionate about something because it makes them feel like it's going to happen for them. And also, it's a huge turn on. Even, and I'm just going to use this as an example, even if she feels like, oh, he's still not really the type of guy for me and I still have doubts, if you're still giving that energy towards being a go-getter and going hard for something, then she's still gonna feel like, oh, secretly I'm fantasizing as if he's going after me and being a go-getter for me. And like I'm telling you, when you have this go-getter mentality, a lot of things get dismissed. There's times where I mentioned about your looks and how women notice it and everything, but I never said that looks will break or make what a woman decides to do with you, how she feels towards you. So realistically, when you have the go-getter mentality, it eliminates your looks. Because all these other things, the way you're dressing and things like that, it's just not going to be as important. What's going to be important is the mentality that you have of being a go-getter. Okay, so a lot of women secretly want this. It's not just about the money. Like, although there's women that are so hungry to get money and be with a man for money, when you have just this, it doesn't mean you're at a place of having money. It doesn't mean that you have it all put together. But just having this mentality, it's already a chance. A lot of women, and you might not believe it, but I've had women say, you know, I was turned off because he just had no ambition. He didn't want to go after anything in life. He was not passionate about anything. And I was like, I totally understand that, because it's just like, yes, money is there. Yes, you can have success, status. But if you get to a breaking point, if your mentality is not strong, then where does it start? That's where you need to start. That's where it really is the root to it. That's where it's going to just branch out. And most times branch out to get that type of woman. And women love to see it. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the last thing on my list. And this is their own space. So refreshing to hear that word. But honestly, you guys, the own space thing is so important. I've been talking about this probably 1-2 times. I'm not sure. I haven't said it that many times, but having your own space is so important for women. And I feel like a lot of times women don't just know how to say it to a man. Like, they won't just be like, oh, I want my own space, or I need my own space. There's times where girls do when they're really harsh and they're not feeling you. But for the most time, whether she's nice or she just doesn't know how to say it to you, girls will try to just push you away in a different way. So they'll tell you things like, oh, I'm doing this today, or I'm just not ready, or let's make plans for some other day. Things like that will come out of her mouth. She'll text you things like that, tell you things like that on the phone, like just to avoid you and to have that space. Now, I'm not going to get deep into why she wants the space, because sometimes it can be for a guy. But I will just say this. Most times when you are actually like having something going on, or there's potential where you two can grow, for the woman, she's still going to want her space, because she needs that time to breathe and realize how she wants to go about things, how she really feels about you. And most importantly, I've said this in a different video, is that it's the time where she's going to miss you the most. And so I'll say it again. It's really going to be the time she's going to want you, miss you, literally be like, okay, I want to be around his space again. Like, it just needs to be there, because when you guys are in this bubble, that's what it becomes, always in each other's space. It's like, can you guys just air out the room and take a step out and come back in, and then be refreshed, be rejuvenated again, and be ready to tackle this relationship or this friendship? That's how it's going to become. So having her own space is almost mandatory, you guys. If you can give a woman her own space, she will love it. And if you guys do have something that's going on, just keep in mind, she doesn't really know how to say it to you, because she might like you and she doesn't want to be blunt out saying like, I just want my own space, you know, scared that you might take it the wrong way, right? Or some girls just don't know how to communicate at all. So having our own space, don't always think it's going to be a bad thing. A lot of times it's just space to maybe just relax and enjoy being a feminine woman just in her own space by taking care of herself. Maybe she wants to just have a day where she's just relaxing, doing baths, taking care of her hygiene extremely. Like, it could be things like that, but it just needs to be done. Okay, so if you can, you fellas yourself, give the woman space without actually like, you know, well, what are you going to do in your own space? Or, you know, how long do you need the space? Just give it to her. And then when she's ready to come back around, she'll come back around. And worst comes to worst, if she doesn't want to come back around, it's going to be her loss, right? If you're a good guy. So I wanted you guys to really understand, but I hope this helped you at least. If it did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and make sure you give me a big thumbs thumbs up. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up for a quicker video to come up. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up for a quicker video to come up. Make sure you check out all my social media, everything that's on the screen, and you guys will see me at my next video. Bye, you guys.